Hi, welcome back to the channel, FIFA Mobile. Alright, do not spend more than 500 tokens because this player 94ST is totally not worth it. Save up your tokens because you can claim the extra tickets of 500, that would be better. And you can also claim one event icon from one of the league and of course extra tickets along the way. So just remember this, this player, although it looks good that you actually can claim him if you have 1000 of those tokens spent, but I'm going to share with you, actually he's not that expensive in the market, and I'll rather not spend my precious gems just to buy extra of 500 tokens in order to get this player, because it's totally not worthwhile. And of course, if you really want more tokens along the progress path itself, you should be able to get more of that. Okay, so let me quickly share with you the market price of that player. So it's as I said, it's really not worth spending your precious gems on this 94. Just bear in mind, this is just a 94 OVR player. Although it comes free, it is not worth your precious gems. Okay, take a look at the price. It's really extremely low in my opinion. It's 1.3 million or less. It's definitely not worth your thousands of gems. Okay, so if you are really after a player that will be good for your team, actually can get more from a market. I'll come to that later on. I'm going to make sure I want to urge you to do this. You know that you can actually claim extra tickets when you spend 500 of those tokens. So you see they are actually future league reserves. So it just means that 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I presume at the end of this whole event itself, there'll be 5 chances of you claiming extra tickets of 500 each time. You don't think that as expiry of the current one, that means that it is going to be repeated most likely. So I'll urge you to save up your tokens and spend 500 tokens each time, and henceforth claim those extra tickets. Alright, so I'm going to share with you the price wise. Take a look at the players that you can get using lesser amount of coins. If you are after really the striker and want to boost your OVR, then you should actually look out for players like this, like 96ST or 94ST. It's so much cheaper. You can get it from market, and you're not that free player just now, and prices will start to plunge eventually. So I'm going to share with you really do get more of the either community points through exchange of tickets, and get more tickets as I mentioned earlier by spending 500 tokens each time you release additional tickets for yourself. Okay, so there are also extra tickets to be claimed. I'm going to share with you this. When you claim and spend your community points, you get in a way extra tickets, just like a rebate for the spending you have made. So again, you have extra tickets once you have completed the task, and of course I come back to this later on just to share with this. You see I've spent 4,000, and that's how I claim an extra sets of tickets. Again, this is really important. You should get the maximum tickets that you could get from this event, so as able to claim better players, and of course we're really looking after not these common players but rather the ultimate players which are released later part. But more importantly, you gotta really spend your community points and eventually gain some good players along the way, and that would gain you the ultimate TOTS. Okay, so the TOTS is the one you should go after then, rather than this normal TOTS players. So these are the normal TOTS players, which call it EFL reserves. But to me, I think more importantly is really the ultimate, which you go to the ultimate section, you'll see that you need a good amount of the ultimate points itself, which you really get when you exchange for players. So you really need a lot of community points to be spent. Alright, now I'm going to use up my 5 players. These players right now are no longer expensive. They are really cheap right now. And once you have them, you sell in the market, you'll be feeling that it's not really worth it. Why not throw into the SBC and get some rank up shots instead? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to share with you, if you do not have any of this player, how much it will cost you for this SBC itself. Alright, so if you do not have, you roughly spend about 750,000 to buy them straight from the market. We'll show you later, but I guess you should have 5 players by now, and it's totally free, so just do it. Alright, so I'm going to share you this. I mean, if you're lucky, you may get it at 50 odd thousand. If not, normally it's average about 150,000 per player. So just quickly check out the price for you. Okay, set a slightly higher budget, but I'm going to show you that actually majority of the players are selling around average of 150. Some expensive, like slightly, some cheaper, so just average it to be 150. You could strive to get even better deal by doing some random browsing of the market and look for good players. Sometimes you get it really cheap, like 70,000 or 50,000. Grab it immediately because it was really fastest fingers, and sometimes it just disappear instantaneously. Okay, so I'm going to show you very quickly. The other way that you should really get is through bidding. Bidding players in the market is also another way that you can get them at slightly cheaper price. So you can see actually there are really a lot of people selling these players along the way. I get more and more, and it's definitely cheaper and cheaper. So it's no longer expensive like 500,000 or 700,000 when I first started. And I wanted to get the maximum community points for the rewards. I bought the players, but now it's all the cheap again. So there's no point in reselling them. They anyway it's going to make a loss, so I'd rather throw in the SBC. And of course, if you're buying straight from the market, I'll urge you not only hunt it from buy now, but hunt it through the current bid. If you set at 150,000 for example, there are a lot of choices of lower. Some like starting bid is only 40,000. Of course, along the way you're going to be consistent and keep on looking after your own bids, especially when it comes near to like less than 20 minutes or so. You'll be really fastest fingers. And a certain strategy when people do bidding, sometimes in the last 30 seconds then they start doing it, or some people even do it the last 10 or 5 seconds, and then eventually when you caught off guard you will lose itself. Okay, so I'll just show you some of the bids I'm going to make later on, and some are a couple of hours later before the end of the bid. So I'm going to bid at a lower price, and eventually hopefully we get some bids that outbid the rest of the players, henceforth getting a cheap player from the market by bidding. Alright, you guys, scroll now, you can see there are really good OVR players that are selling really cheap in the market right now. Of course, never do the buy now from the bidding area, because it's really expensive. Sometimes they go to exorbitant prices. So I'm going to set even lower budget so as to see whether we can get them. Alright, so you can see here really cheap players that put on bid now. But you be careful here, because if you do have enough or a lot of coins, if you accidentally click on buy now, I think you'll feel very sorry. So just make sure you click the bid or place bid, and as when you get outbid, you just got to consistently fight until a reasonable price you feel. Do not take it an impulse. Like for example, if people keep on outbidding you and you keep on fighting and end up paying a lot more than what is in the market, so you need to know what is the price that you should not bid beyond. I would say that you set beyond anything beyond like 140, 150,000. Do not go for that. Just let it go. There's a lot of opportunity. So you can see me being the highest bidders for quite a number of players already. This is really cheap. So we're going to set it at 100,000. So you manage to get it, it will be totally great, because you save like 50,000 or so. So again, this is one way you should go about saving, and then eventually just be on the watch out, and then place bids for those that is reasonable. Do not really overprice those bids, because that defeats the purpose. I'd rather you go buy now. So that's basically it. You can see here it's so easily to be outbid. But do not worry about that, and just remember, got to control the impulse spending. So with that, I'm going to share with you really a lot of things you could do in the event itself. Really get the maximum tickets, maximum community points, and do not spend tokens anyhow, and eventually there'll be a lot more to be disclosed to you in the later part of this event. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe, and good luck. Goodbye.